Greetings, lovers of mysticism and the unknown. Welcome to the Incredible Stories channel. We are explorers of the unexplainable and unbelievable. Today, I will tell you an interesting story. Brew up some goodies and enjoy. The bitter cold wind screeched past, slamming against the rugged terrain of the Arctic tundra. A small team of scientists, stationed at a remote research facility, huddled inside, their faces drawn with a sense of foreboding. They knew that they had unearthed something of exotic nature, something that would change their lives completely. The scientists discovered a strange metallic object buried deep beneath the permafrost that was not composed of any material known to man. It emitted a strange energy, and upon investigation, the researchers noticed something peculiar. The object transformed anything it touched into gold. Initially, the prospect of unlimited riches appeared to be the stuff of dreams, but it quickly turned into a nightmare when the scientists realized that they were trapped inside the facility. The doorknob turned to gold, locking them all inside. The keys to their cars had turned to gold or became unusable, and they were stranded with an object cursed them to transform anything they touched into gold. Fearing for their lives, the scientists were left to their doom as they gradually began to lose their sanity. The exhilaration of ultimate power replaced by a crippling sense of helplessness. A once cohesive unit, the scientists turned on one another, desperately vying for an escape from this curse. As the days wore on, they became nothing more than grotesque cautionary tales. A rescue team arrived too late, for the scientists had all turned into golden statues, their faces twisted with agony and terror. The story remains a dark reminder of the perils of playing with forces far beyond our control. The frigid blast of wind howled over the barren and desolate wastelands in the north of Russia, a place where survival required one's wits and strength. It was here where a small group of scientists had taken up residence in a remote research station, surrounded by a suffocating emptiness. But the silent solitude was soon disrupted by an object which lay buried deep beneath the frozen ground. As the scientists uncovered the peculiar metal object, they quickly recognized that it was unlike anything known to mankind. The curious enigma crackled with an unexplainable energy, and everything it came into contact with, it turned golden. Initially, the revelation of possessing the ability to turn things into gold filled the scientists with an unbridled and insatiable craving to become wealthy. However, that was soon to change as they realized that everything they touched turned into the precious metal. Desperately trying to leave the research station, they ran into the deadly flaw of their discovery. They were now trapped within the confines of the station, unable to leave due to the golden curse. They frantically tested their limits, but soon realized with horror that everything, even the doorknobs and keys to their vehicles, was transformed into gold, thereby rendering them stranded. Their thirst and hunger soon became insatiable, as even the food and water they consumed was also transformed. Slowly deteriorating and scavenging for a way to end their wretchedness, the once cohesive group of scientists turned against each other in a frenzy of blame games, each hoping to find a way out of their gilded prison. As days turned to weeks, they were consumed in a desolate powerlessness, transforming everything into gold with one touch, and could not escape from their fatal and cursed circumstance. The ultimate irony of their downfall arrived in the form of a rescue team that found bodies of the now golden statues that once were the scientists, frozen in silvery agony and trapped by their own misguided attempts at alchemy. The tale of the golden curse serves as a warning of the perils of tampering with the unknown, the dangers of uncontrolled lust for power, and how quickly it can lead to one's own destruction. However, the story took an even bleaker turn as news of the curse spread globally, with people flocking to the barren lands, craving for riches and more power. The thirst and desire for gold proved too powerful for human rationality, as even the sight of the golden-statured corpses of the original victims could not deter them. A single discovery had wrought global havoc, the infamous curse of gold. No longer limited to the confines of a small research station or a handful of desperate scientists, the curse spread like wildfire, consuming everything in its path. As the world looked on in horror, the few who had survived the initial onslaught fled southward, seeking refuge in the safety of the southern hemisphere. It was there they came to realize the true depth of the destruction wrought by their actions. Their greed and insatiable thirst for wealth and power had been the catalyst that unleashed the curse upon the world. Deep questions plagued their minds. Was it just their own love of material possessions and superficial wealth that drove them to seek out the curse? Or was it a darker, inherent aspect of human nature that craved more in an endless quest for supremacy? As they faced the grim reality of the situation, the survivors knew that they could not let the world fall prey to their mistakes again. They had learned their lesson well and realized that a new world needed to be built to avoid the sins of the past. A newfound spirit of cooperation and compassion pervaded all their decisions, a time for renewed hopes and aspirations. For they understood that the thirst and desire for wealth and power were nothing but hollow materialistic dreams that held the potential to bring about catastrophic consequences. The golden curse had become a symbol of greed and avarice, a dire warning to a world plagued by the insatiable thirst for wealth and power. In the end, the survivors had learned that the path of greed would lead to nothing but ruin and devastation. From the ashes of destruction came a new beacon of hope, an era ushered in by compassion, love, and understanding. A new dawn had begun, and the survivors were determined to leave the legacy of greed and destruction behind forever. What did you think of it? Write in the comments. Be sure to get likes, subscribe to our channel, and check out other amazing stories.